Good morning, everyone. Oh, it's been a couple of days. Yep. Time just seems to be running away from me. Yeah, one thing. Yeah, but no, I really does feel that way. It's morning, then it's nighttime. Then it's morning, then it's nighttime. And I'm going, where did the whole day just go? uh, so I was busy, yes. With what? Well, one day, we, it seems amazing to me on how this week where the whole family here is on vacation. So I'm here by myself with the dog and then that boy that I take care of as well over the summer. And then it just sporadically there's just all this stuff happening with other people coming, and I'm going, oh, okay. And we had a great week. It was like it. I was wondering if the week with no other children except for my oldest granddaughter would come periodically as well and stay. With just the boy here, and I thought, my goodness, what am I going to do with him? Just by himself, which there's plenty to do, yeah. But is that going to, is he going to still have fun with just me here? And it was great. He loved it too. We just had a lazy week, did what we wanted to do, and totally enjoyed each other's company. I mean, it was. I said, there was a couple of evenings, it's like, Chrissy, I'm going home already? Can I just stay? I said, no, you got to go home. Oh, not that I didn't want him to stay. It's like, it was just as it was designed. And I said, if you wanted to do that, we should have made plans for that. I like a proper plan. I know that in today's world, right, everything's just because you can, oh, hey, do you want to blah, blah, blah. It seems as if, even if you make a plan, due to the fact that you can so easily cancel now with letting everybody know, it not what I like. That's not how I organize my surroundings. Of course, I go with whatever. I've learned also to just say, when someone says, oh, do you want to do this or that? I said, yeah, well, let's see on how it goes. With you, I'll be at the ready when the time is right, or yes. And so I don't really make plans with anybody anymore when it comes down to what they want to do or think they're going to do or want to do, and I'm going to be included or whatever. Yes? Because that seems to be the best way to not, be disappointed or just get, gosh, gee, I thought we had a plan, or that's the best way to go. Just go, okay, it's the times. I remember when you made an appointment with someone or you had an appointment somewhere, you were there on time, unless you were sick in the hospital, something. Yeah, you were there. Out of 9 times out of 10, you'd be there. The plan was set and you went with the plan. Now it's 9 times out of 10, forget the plan. Don't even, let's just see what happens, right? Yes? That's kind of the times we are in. It's a little larry-farry. The whole thing is a little larry-farry, right? Yes? Is that a good thing? Well, I don't know. It seems to be working for people out there. But then I'm hearing that people are more stressed, this and that, anxiety levels are high, depression is high, I don't know what. And I'm going, maybe it's because people don't stick to a plan anymore, right? Yes? Or when you have made a plan, you kind of stick with it. Yes? Of course, always on the side of goodness. People make a lot of bad plans too, right? I can just say. Anyway, so we went and met up with another One of my spiritual children. Yes. Oh my gosh, I so love her, and her children are amazing as well. Uh, so we met up with them and we went shopping. Can you believe it? I went shopping. Okay, what did I do? Right? I got a few things. I needed some pajamas. So I got a few things. But most of my time I spent with another little one. She is 6. And we had a great time in that store. We just did. It was great. And then, of course, my oldest granddaughter was there as well. But this little one was with me the most of the time. She stuck to me like glued to my hip. Such a wonderful time. I've known her since she was a teeny tiny baby too. And then the moms, and of course I had the stroller with the baby. Then so my spiritual daughter also has another little one that's going to be almost a year old, and she eventually ended up in the stroller too, taking a nap. So here we are, a grandma, 2 moms, and 4 children, of which 2 were little ones. And we spent a number of hours in that store, and everything went so well. Everything went so well, so peaceful, harmonious. There was no stress going on because the baby's crying or that one. There's nothing. It was just an amazing time. Probably I have to say one of the best times I've ever had. I'm in a store. I'm not a shopper. Okay, guys. I need this, 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 and this, and I go in, I get it, and I get out. That's me. I'm not someone that cruises around and, let's see what else I could get. I don't need. You know what I mean? Had a great time. And I had a great time because I had wonderful children around me that I just had a great time with. We ended up going outside for a while to sit down. And there were these pine trees, and we ended up trying to, so she said, Grosie, do you know how to whistle through grass blades? I said, well, let's try it. You know, we kind of got it, but the blades weren't quite wide enough. And then there were these pine trees. I said, hey, go up there and have a look and see, to give her something to do to run around a little, right? I said, go and have a look and see if there's any pine cones. And sure enough, there were beautiful pine cones, and we collected a whole bunch to take home. And I'm going to make some Christmas ornaments, or, these baskets that they have where the tips are kind of like, okay, right. For Christmas time. Okay, all right, scented pine cone. So here we go. So here we are outside, right? The mommies are shopping inside, spending money, and here we are outside looking for treasures we didn't pay a dime for. Okay, just saying. Anywho, it was a great day. It was a bit of a drive, so we left early in the morning, came home in the evening. It was great, just wonderful. And I was tired. I was really tired. And then yesterday I had 2 of them here. And recuperated from the day before. Anyway, that's great. Wonderful. There you go. I wonder sometimes, we hear when you go and look, okay, I have YouTube to go and look. That's it. I don't go to all these other places or that you could on the internet for information, and I don't really look for any of it, but whatever is the newest in going on around the world when it comes to conflict. And I wonder, okay, so I know that's what you're doing, and what the governments, the leadership, good or bad, is doing, and I don't know what, but you hardly hear anything, especially in the countries where there's war now going on again. Right? Show me the people. Show me the commoners there. What's going on? Are they starving? Are they without water or electricity or the internet, which doesn't seem to be the case? I want to know, how are they doing? How are they faring with what their governments are doing to each other? I'd like to know that. I'd like to see what is going on with the commoners. Are they still living just, well, yeah, we know we got a war going on, but we still have to go to work. We still have to go to the store and get food. We still have to pay our bills. What's going on there? I'd like to see more of that. Yes, I really do. Another thing that I would like to see is, I just saw this morning a little blurb from President Trump, and it was all about how bad the opposition is, and oh my God, now we're going to have being the worst this or that. Now we're going to have the worst this or that. And I'm listening, kind of, not really, because I'm all first couple of sentences going, man, I'd like to see a good person as the president in office. Again, doing what exactly? I don't need the infighting. This is again going on between whom and where up here. What is that? How, knowing that one person is so bad about this, and worse than the one that I'm listening to, are you trying to make yourself appetizing to me while talking nasty or down on someone else's whatever? Well, that's not going to work with me. Be there for the people, for the country that you want to run, or be the head honcho. Okay? Just saying. What good does it do if I don't know all these other people? I have no idea. All I'm getting is what you want me to get, what you want me to hear. But I'm not getting. Just stick with the script of, well, they're going to do whatever they're going to do. I'm here because I care about, I see solutions for, and tell me about that. I don't care how much money that other party gets or this or that. What does that have to do with me? If my vote counts when I'm going to vote, right? I'm not bought off. I'm not bribed into voting for one person or the other. I'm listening. I want to listen to someone that has the best for the country in mind, not the worst for someone else, or tells me how bad they are. That's not what I need to hear. It's not what I want to hear. I don't want to be stuck in the middle where, both sides are throwing rotten tomatoes at each other. Just say. Then I have to question the person who's telling me, hey, I'm much better, and I'm better because... Then I have to question that person as well. I'm praying. I'm praying that somehow someone will come out of the woodwork, yes, that God truly approves of. Or that one or the other has a epiphany, a light bulb goes on. Their heart to mind, their conscience is getting activated to the point of, oh my gosh, how have I been doing this? I need to change that. Yes? And truly walk under the umbrella of God. Just saying. That's my opinion on all that. All right, or my outlook. Right? So, it is what it is, right? But am I getting all around the world really what is happening with the people? No, I'm not. I'm just getting the conflict that's happening where? All up on top somewhere. Yes? Just saying. How are the people really faring in these countries? And what if I'm not going to get to see the worst, this or that? Then what? I'm not. If I see people actually still getting along and how I say, just go about their daily lives, and is that going to what? That's going to do what exactly? Huh? Maybe show us a little bit of a different side on what is actually going on out there. I don't know, because that's not what we're getting. Okay. Well, anyway. People probably not interested in that, right? No? Well, misery loves company. Well, there you go. All right, we are in Maccabees 1, the first book of Maccabees 7. Let's see how the conflict is going on here. We're just going to make it through it. We're going to make it through. Demetrius I becomes king and sends Bacchides and Alchemus to Judea. 7. Demetrius. Oh, the Romans are coming into. Now we're getting into the Roman stuff. Yeah. In the year 151, Demetrius, son of Seleucus, left Rome and arrived with a few men at a town on the coast where he inaugurated his reign. What, they just show up somewhere and decide they're going to be king there? What times were they? I'd still like that in a way. It so happened that, as he was entering the royal residence of his ancestors, the army captured Antiochus and Lysias and intended to bring them to him. Wait a minute. The royal residence of his ancestors? Ugh, I'm already lost. I can't keep up with all these. It's a little too. One would almost have to make a timeline. And the thing is, I have a book at the farm. It's huge, and it has a biblical timeline of everything. It's really interesting. It's the world history, and it's the biblical timeline. And very interesting. And I wish I had that with me. I think I'll when the next time somebody can have them bring me that, because it'd be really. I think it would help. Who is that exactly? Okay. All right. Enough of them. On hearing this, he said, "Keep them out of my sight." The army put them to death, and Demetrius ascended his throne. Next, all those Israelites without law or piety, led by Alchemus. What? Oh. Now, what is this again now? Next, all those Israelites without law or piety, led by Alchemus, whose ambitions was to become high priest, approached the king and denounced our people to him. What? Split the Israelites. Huh? I had said that. Wow, they look like they're really split. Why? Why is that? Judas and his brothers, they said, have killed all your friends, and he has driven us out of our country. What did I start out with? Okay, just before I started reading this. Right now, with the presidential election going on again here in the United States, does this sound any different than what's going on right now? Tell me. Wow, we haven't learned a thing from the past. Oh no, we have. We're continuing on doing exactly that. So send someone now whom you can trust. Let him go and see the wholesale ruin Judas has brought on us. The wholesale ruin. Who translated this? It's just. Okay, just. And on the king's dominions, and let him punish the wretches and all who assist them. The king chose Bacchides, one of the friends of the king, governor of Trans-Euphrates, an important personage in the kingdom and loyal to the king. He sent him with the godless Alchemus, whom he confirmed in the high priesthood, with orders to exact retribution from the Israelites. That's a fallible sentence right there. He sent with him the godless Alchemus, whom he confirmed in the high priesthood. If you're godless, why do you need a priesthood? For what exactly? Okay, I'm just saying. All right. I'm just, okay, look, if you want me to listen to anything or I'm learning, you got to make sense. If you're not making sense and you're just sprouting nonsense, then that's what I'm going to take it as, nonsense. Okay? That doesn't make sense. If you don't believe in anything, if you're godless, then what kind of priest you're going to be? To what exactly? Just asking. You can go and look up what the definition of priesthood is. high priesthood. All right. So they set out with a large force, and on reaching Judea, sent emissaries to Judas and his brothers with proposals peaceably yet treacherous. Peaceable yet treacherous. The latter, however, did not put any faith in their words, aware that they had come with a large force. Nevertheless, a commission of scribes presented themselves before Alcimus and Pacytus to sue for just terms. The first among the Israelites to ask them for peace terms were the Hasidaeans. What? Who are the Hasidaeans? What happened to the 12 tribes of Israel? And who are the Hasidaeans among the Israelites? Yeah, I could go and look that up. No, I'm not going to do that. It's just too much, whatever. So there were Hasidaeans who reasoned thus: this is a priest of Aaron's line who has come with the armed forces. He will not wrong us. Wait a minute. Godless Alcimus was of Aaron's line of priests? Huh? How did that happen? So they trusted. How many generations removed now? And he comes with whom? And they're going, oh, we can trust him because of what exactly? Oh, that's interesting. That brings me back again to just because someone that you feel like, well, I want to support this, recognize when something doesn't sound right. Recognize when you're going, wait a minute, I'm not supporting you, so that then you're going to do what exactly? I'm supporting you because I believe that this is the better of two evils. But, and here, okay, he will not wrong us. Yeah, that's putting a bit your trust in something that you full well can already see. Well, wait a minute, what's actually going on here, and how easily can we actually be taken over, and why are they coming for peace talks if there's such a great force out there that can just run them over and say, well, we don't need peace talks. We just okay, just saying. He did, in fact, discuss peace terms with them and gave them his oath: we shall not attempt to injure you or your friends. That reminds me also of historic accounts or world history, again, that I've read about other different religions, where it's interesting on how it's always somehow a lot of religious wars, right? Most wars had to do with religion. Fanatics, just saying. Religious fanatics, just saying. And on how an oath didn't mean anything. It was to trick people, right? Treacherous, being treacherous. Say one thing, do another. It's what do you do, right? Yes. We shall not attempt to injure your friends. They believed him, but he arrested 60 of them and put them to death on one day. Wait a minute. Who put whom? Wait a minute. The first among them is to ask them for peace. Okay. So the Hasidaeans went to this Alcimus and wanted to trust him, and they believed him, but he arrested 60 of them and put them to death on one day. Fulfilling the words of Scripture, they have scattered the bodies of your faithful and shed their blood all around Jerusalem, leaving no one to bury them. Well, it was just 60 of them. Surely there weren't just 60 Hasidaeans. Okay, so who knows? Why would that put in there? Okay, wait. We got to pull God into this. some kind of a premonition that someone had, right? Yes, yeah, okay. I don't know. At this, fear and dread gripped the whole people. There is no truth or virtue in them, they said. They have broken their agreement and their sworn oath. Here are 60 people that died. We didn't hear much about the 1,000, right, in the desert. Remember the slaughter and this and that? Didn't hear much on how the people reacted to that. Here it's 60 people and, ooh, the whole people is all scared and that's scattered and I don't know what. That's weird. That's just weird. Come on. Oh my gosh. Hey, drama queens and drama kings here. Bacchus then left Jerusalem and encamped at Beth-seth. And from there sent and arrested many of the men who had deserted him, and a few of our people too. There were people that see, there's more going on there. We don't get it. All I'm getting is, again, what's going on the top here? How did the people truly feel underneath it? What was going on there? We're not getting that. Oh, but we're gleaning some of what's going on, except for why did they desert him? Why did they do that? It seemed like they were with him. So he goes, kills them, kills a few of our people too. Okay. He had them killed and thrown down the great well. That's a smart thing to do. Throwing them in a well has water in it, right? Wasn't water at that time really important? Why would you do that? Well, that's a dumb thing to do. But on top of everything, why are all these people who have such low intelligence and I don't know, IQ and all that, up on the top of the pyramid when it comes to ruling people? I'm just wondering. That's a dumb thing to do. Well, it was just, that's what it says here. Thrown down the great well. What's a well? At that time, I'm assuming a well was what? It's not described more. Was what? A water source. Why would you put dead bodies in a well? What is that going to do to the water? Okay. He then put Alchemists in charge of the province, leaving an army with him to support him. Bacchus himself returned to the king. Alchemists continued his struggle to become high priest. Oh, a struggle. That's interesting in here. And all who were disturbing the peace of their own people rallied to him. And having won control of Judea, did much harm in Israel. Seeing that all the wrongs done to the Israelites by Alchemists and his supporters exceeded what I thought Judas had everything so under control, and obviously not. And the Gentiles had done. Judas went right round the whole territory of Judea to take vengeance on those who had deserted him. What now? Judas also had all them deserters, and then he goes after them as well. My goodness, what did I talk about when it comes to the presidential election that we have coming up? What is this? Mine goes right along with it. My good, if you really think about it, right? Oh my gosh. So Judas also had take vengeance, goes after the ones that, right? Okay, what about the rest of the people? So I had a few who ran off. Okay, why? Why were they not happy with Judas? He goes after them. Doesn't he have other things to do? I don't know. I have no idea. And to prevent their free movement about the country. Nicanor, why would they? Okay. Nicanor in Judea and Battle of Kfar Salama. When Alchemists saw how strong Judas and his supporters had grown, yet Judas was running after the few that have deserted him. Okay, God Almighty. And realized that he was powerless to resist them. Oh, really? He went back to the king, to whom he had malicious accusations against them. What? The king sent Nicanor, one of his generals, ranking as illustrious and a bitter enemy of Israel, with orders to exterminate the people. What happened with Alchemists? The king... What? When Alchemists saw how strong Judas and his supporters had grown, and realized that he was powerless to resist him, he went back to the king, to whom he made malicious accusations against them. Okay, got it. So he would keep his head for failing. Okay. Saving his own neck. Okay, so Nicanor is going up. Reaching a even more brutal guy. Okay, good. Okay. Reaching Jerusalem with a large force, Nicanor sent a friendly yet treacherous message to Judas and his brothers as follows. Let us have no fighting between you and me. I shall come with a small escort for peaceful meeting with you. He met Judas and they exchanged friendly greetings. The enemy, however, had made preparations to abduct Judas. When Judas became aware of Nicanor's treacherous purpose in coming to see him, he took fright and refused any further meeting. Nicanor then realized that his plan had been discovered and took the field against Judas to give battle near Kafar Salama. About 500 of Nicanor's men fell. The rest took refuge in the city of David. Okay, wow, what a mess. So now they're in the city of David. They've taken that over again. I wonder what's going to happen to the temple. Oh, here it comes. Threats against the temple. After these events, Nicanor went up to Mount Zion. Some of the priests came out of the holy place with some elders to give him a friendly welcome. Why, they don't know that this guy was not good towards them? Okay. And show him the burnt offering being presented for the king. But he ridiculed them, laughed at them, defiled them, and used insolent language, swearing in his rage. Unless Judas is handed over to me, this time with his army, as soon as I am safely back, I promise you I shall burn this building down. Then he went off in a fury. At this, the priests went in again and stood weeping in front of the altar in the temple, saying, You have chosen this house to be called by your name, to be a house of prayer and petition for your people. Take vengeance on this man and on his army, and let them fall by the sword. Remember their blasphemies and give them no respite. Okay. Well, he didn't raise the temple to the ground, so that's good. They did go out and try to make peace. Okay, that's good, rather than, okay, so, well, what choice do they have? Okay, let's go and see what we can do to keep the temple safe. Okay. The day of Nicanor at Adaza. Nicanor left Jerusalem and camped at Beth Haran, where he was joined by an army from Syria. Judas, meanwhile, camped at Adaza with 3,000 men and offered this prayer. When the king's envoys blasphemed, your angel went out and struck down 185,000 of his men. Huh? Where did that come from? No idea. In the same way, let us see you crush this army today, so that everyone else may know that this man has spoken blasphemously against your sanctuary. Pass judgment on him as his wickedness deserves. All right, one thing that I can say about this is, did Nicanor kind of just point out the hypocrisy? I'd say there's a lot of hypocrisy going on here when it comes to all their religious beliefs and I don't know what, don't you think? That's what I'm kind of hearing here. Okay? Again, where are the laws of God? I don't know. I'm not finding none of them here. When it comes to the Israelites following the covenant that they have with God, not finding them. But here now, it seems like that Judas is at the end of his rope here. That's kind of what it sounds like to me. And he says, well, you know what? I'm going to leave it in your hands. I'm not sure what he's actually expecting from God, but, right? It seems like things aren't looking good. The armies met in battle on the 13th of the month Adar, and Nicanor's army was crushed, he himself being the first to fall in the battle. When Nicanor's soldiers saw him fall, they threw down their arms and fled. So, again, sounds like, again, the main guy, general, lucky shot from someone with an arrow or something, and he's a goner, and the rest of the army goes, oh, So, sounds like there was not a whole lot of bloodshed going on because somehow the main guy was taken out early. That's what it says here. Okay. The Jews pursued them a day's journey from Adaza to the approaches of Gezer. They sounded their trumpets in warning as they followed them, and people came out of all the surrounding Judean villages to encircle the fugitives, who then turned back on their own men. All fell by the sword, not one being left alive. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, if this is such a great army, first of all, if the villagers then so easily can overtake the ones that are running away, we're talking about most of the army here. It says early on, and they all blah, blah, blah. So most of the army, right? And there's only 3,000 men of Judah's. Okay, I know it doesn't say how much that Nicanor had here, right? Okay, one side is exaggerating, the other side's how many there were. Don't know, it doesn't say. And you're telling me that the villagers now coming out, seeing them all run, still with all their, I've no doubt. Okay, they say, oh, they threw down their arms. Did they? Would you really just throw down your sword and run away? Wouldn't you just take, oh, I'm taking that with me in case? So what actually happened there? Again, what? So now suddenly the villagers, when they all came marching in, oh yeah, let's let them go through wherever they need to go to. But then when they want to leave, they're doing what? Suddenly. That's a bit weird. Well, they don't have their commander anymore. Still weird. It's one guy. One guy can instill that kind of fear in people, where then they're just, I'm just wondering. Well, anyway. I don't know. Oh, it just all sounds kind of whatever. Gosh, men playing their games of war. Having collected the spoils and booty, they cut off Nicanor's head, and the right hand he had stretched out in a display of insolence. These were taken and displayed within sight of Jerusalem. The people were overjoyed and kept that day as a great holiday. Another holiday. Not initiated by God. Indeed, they decided to celebrate it annually on the 13th of Adar. For a short while, Judea enjoyed peace. A short while. Okay, who knows? All right, that's the end of 7. More war. I remember. So one time I said, okay, all these armies were coming and trying to take over Israel, the Israelites. Well, they did at one point. And then the Israelites just had enough. And Mattathias kind of started that. Okay, enough is enough, right? Kind of thing. And then the bloodshed just starts again. Okay, with this and that. I got it. And one and one wonders where the strength comes from. In this case, in the end, right, people who are running away, the villagers would come out and say, nope, you're not going anywhere. Go back that way. That's where you're going to get slaughtered. And one wonders, okay, sounds like the Israelites are always, when it comes to armies and this and that, in the have less, right? Less people. But do you remember in the tribes how many people were actually in armies when the Israelites were still wandering through the desert? This is so many generations later. How many people were actually in the Israelites' armies? Yeah, just wondering. When Judah's finally, after he kind of established himself, and people followed, and some deserted, and okay, all right. Seems to be a common thing in all armies, right? That you have deserters and stuff like that. But in any case, so I remember when I went to school, of course, the history of Switzerland and how Switzerland became Switzerland. But of course, you're being told that it's a really tiny little country, right, that has never truly been taken over by anyone. Once the Swiss decided enough is enough, and a lot of stories going around. Wilhelm Tell happens to be, as far as I know, not a true story, right? Yeah, okay, all right. There may be some truth to it with some things, but really when it comes down to it, the story does not exist, okay? It's not true. But anyway, and then there are other things as well. It's just, okay, but there is one battle. It's called the Schlacht am Moorgarten in 1315. And it was a brutal battle. I mean, the people were so sick of being under the yoke of feudal lords and all that all the people got together. It wasn't just the soldiers. It was all at that time. I have no doubt there's a very small force of the army in Switzerland. But all the people, you see when they depict that battle on Moorgarten, it's everybody is out. Everybody with the hellebards, their pickaxes, their pitchforks, okay? And they're all fighting for, per se, their freedom. We're done. You are not keeping us as your slaves anymore. Or used as a source of your income. Taxes, and it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal, and totally surprised the other army, which I can't remember who they were. I just know. And when it became apparent that the other side wasn't going to win, they started to run, and the Swiss army and the people went after them, just like happened here, and slaughtered everybody. No one made it home alive. The teacher, and I've shared the story for that taught me that in 6th grade, taught us that. She said, here, that's the story. And she said, don't be proud of that story. It's to win and to chase an enemy off, finally. And get rid of the oppression of another people, right? Or of people ruling, suppressing, enslaving another people. When you have gotten rid of that, when you are stronger, when you have become successful, you don't go and become bloodthirsty then, to the point of that kind of slaughter. She said, that is wrong. That always stuck with me. Always. Yes. The Swiss people after that, were feared. The armies were, first of all, the terrain was just about impassable to just get into Switzerland at that time. Okay. Now we just bomb it to bits and pieces from the air. But at that time, and they were left alone, because the whole country, it wasn't just arms. Everybody was ready to defend or their freedom, this or that, and that was enough until today, even for little Switzerland, tiny little part on the map, to be just left alone. Okay, they have some other reasons too, right? But I was taught by a really amazing teacher. Yeah, the victory was there, but don't be proud. Don't be proud of that, because there was some things that happened afterwards that were not right. One should never do, not if you're under the guidance of God. Anyway, so So this is all history, right? Yes, we don't live in history. We live now, today. And all I can do is pray for the people in countries where there are still just things going on that I have to say, come on now, really? You haven't gotten any farther than this when it comes to actually be a human, an intelligent, kind, loving human? And pray that whatever still goes right in those countries, again, as I said, we don't know. Do they have electricity? What's going on in them places right now where they have, we're told they're shooting at each other. They're dropping missiles. They're doing this. Do people have electricity? Do they have drinking water? Do they have the internet? Which it seems like they do. Do they have a roof over their head? Are their children still going to school? Do they have food? Do they still go to work? Are they going shopping? What's going on in these countries and where exactly? But how are the rest of the people faring there? Just wondering. In the Bible here too, if this last part, where were the conflicts actually happening? Anyway, I'm just asking out there, right? Yes. Do we as just commoners have any kind of power to make a change? Well, yeah, when you all stand together in peace, decide to stop the infighting and go, don't we have all the same kind of, when it comes down to it, what is the bottom line that we all desire? Then yeah, it says it very simply in the Bible here as well. Drop your weapons. Lay your weapons down and make them into plowshares. It's very simple to understand, isn't it? Why are people just doing that? Good luck. I don't know where you're going to find the people to fight for you. Not doing it anymore. I've got better things to do. Like take care of my family, my children, my neighbors, my community. Just saying. Yes? So, anywho, so there it is. That's all I have to share this morning. Yes. Oh, not too bad. All I can do is just continue. I feel like all I'm getting from Spirit World is encouragement. A different way. Show them a different way. A different way. It's all there. Yes, I understand, but it's all there. We've been given the way. People so afraid to just say, I'm laying my weapon down. No, I got other things. I got better things to do with my life than that. Is there anybody out there that doesn't have better things to do than go and kill someone? Fight over what exactly? Even arguments over things that I'm going, why are you arguing over that? Does that have anything to do with your own life, really, when it comes down to it? Be the better. If you don't like someone else's example, then be the better example out there. Is that so difficult? I don't know. I guess it is. People really, truly enjoy conflict over peace. I question that sometimes. Yes. All right. Well, the family's coming home tomorrow. Yes, yes, yes. I am in great shape here. Yes. Cleaned many things already. I've been here almost 3 months. Then I'm going over to my other daughter. So of course I clean up after myself really, really well. I leave things always better than I find them. Yes, which can be difficult in this house because things are already so perfect. And almost done with all the cleaning. Brought a lot of the toys back upstairs because they're going to work on the floor down here eventually. So I don't want my daughter, who's really, really busy, and my son-in-law, who's also really, really busy, and of course the extra time they always spend, a lot of their extra time they spend with just their children. I don't want them to have to do all that, right? The mess that the kids and I made. It was never really a mess, you know. I brought all that, put everything back, this, that, cleaned up, real nice. It looks great, yes. And I have very little to do now. That was a great week to do all this. And we have, a few more days, and then school starts. Which brings me to one last thing I want to mention as well. I hope, if there are any teachers or principals listening, or parents who are sending their kids to school again, please watch. Don't let kids bully kids, please. Or adults bully children. Don't let that happen. Don't let that slide. From what I've heard, children, all of them here, they love going back to school. They're excited to start a new school year. But I've also heard a little bit of, I hope I'm not going to get bullied. And I'm like, what? Come again? There is no excuse for you out there. If you are in a school system, in a classroom, a principal, in charge of the school board or whatever, even as a parent, there's no excuse out there to not step in and stop bullying right from the start. And just because some of these children, sadly a lot of these children that are bullies, happen to be from families who what? Oh, there's a pyramid thing going, huh? Yeah. Don't. Please don't let children bully children. You need to stop that right from the get-go. You can't tell me you don't know when a child is being bullied. And if you let that go through, that is abuse from the side of the adults. Child abuse. A collective sin of child abuse amongst all adults out there when children are being bullied in school. You get that? Yeah. So, yeah. That is not just, okay, so it comes like a warning or whatever, but this is encouragement from me to you, all out there. Don't let that happen. If you see it, you step in. Oh, it's just, they have to. No, that is not acceptable. Bullying will never be acceptable anywhere, at any time, in the eyes of God, our Heavenly Parent. Never, ever. And that bullying has become such a big thing in the schools, flabbergasts me. Seriously. Got a bunch of Neanderthalers in schools now then. Well, I'm sure that's what isn't that what they did? You know, in the caves, you know. That's what our children are these days? Or sounds like quite a few out there in schools. And as adults, you wait a minute, Neanderthals, I guess the children of the Neanderthalers, in the way that they lived together at that time, as I said, a bit crude and rude. Watching the parents, watching the adults do it. Of course, and they grow up to do what? What the adults do. Where are these children all learning this? Bullying stuff. That's what I'd like to know. Huh? Yeah. So, all I can tell you is, I've already told my children, I said, hey, if you're worried about all this stuff, then you need to take some days off and you need to go and sit there in the school and find out exactly what's going on. And then you start your campaign. Because that's what I did every time. When there would something come up, if something came up, I realized, and I was in tune enough with my children to know when something was not quite right. Okay? And I nipped it right in the butt. I know, I'm supposed to say bud. But nipping it in the butt sounds better. Anyway, so come on now. Be a little less fearful when it comes to your own children with stuff like that. And stand in front of them. And don't let, oh no, don't do anything, Mom or Dad, because then I'm going to, what? You're going to listen to a child on something like that? Okay, had my say, not going to say more. Baby needs to go out. I'm going to end with this. Please, new school year is starting. Please, don't let children bully children. And definitely don't let adults bully children in school. They're not that hard to spot when they do that. Yes, if I could still drive, I would go by myself. But I don't drive anymore. So, and I have a little teeny tiny little one to take care of. Right? Yes, I shouldn't. As an elder, I can give you the encouragement. I can give you right? the insight into do something. That's what I can still do. No, I don't like it. Don't like it one bit. Children are excited to go to school. Another year of learning and are afraid of being bullied. Not right. May Heavenly Parent bless and protect you. You like that protection, don't you? Well, then give it to the children too. And embrace you with love. And I will talk to you all tomorrow.